Welcome back to the Cinema Sessions. My name is Keith, and as always I'm joined by
Seamus. Hello.
Dubliner's Guide to Cinema. This week we're heading straight into the world of guitar cases, gunfire and pure style with Desperado. Directed by Robert Rodriguez and starring Antonio Banderas as the legendary Mariachi. Now, this is a film that doesn't just tell a story, it blasts it at you. It's loud, it's chaotic, it's violent, but it's also ridiculously cool. A revenge to hell, stripped down to its bare bones and then dressed back up with slow motion, slick camera work and a whole lot of attitude. It's also a fascinating moment in Rodriguez's career. Coming off of El Mariachi, this is what happens when you give a DIY filmmaker a real budget and let him run wild. But the question is Desperado all style over substance, or is there more going on beneath the gun smoke? Let's get into it. That is the first time I've ever done that in one.
Congratulations.
We're getting better.
That was
now,
impressive.
Obviously, we're going to Mexico for Cinco de Mayo.
We are in Mexico, in fact.
Yes.
We
hence
brought
the sombrero.
We brought the set over. The set all the way to Mexico.
Hence the sombrero. Did you know? I only found out that sombrero just means hat. So it can be any. It doesn't. This is a hat. Uh-huh. But it's not a sombrero.
In Mexico, we just call them hats.
Yeah, exactly. It's mental. That's something I never realised.
I wouldn't. It is stupid because you think like, oh, I must have just by osmosis. I know what hat is in Jeez, I nearly said in Mexican, but in Spanish. And then you're like, no, don't know that at all.
Yeah.
Complete fucking idiot.
Because it's easy to think that it's the style of hat or something like. Do you know what I mean? But it's not.
That is interesting. Huh? So there's no difference between like.
As far as I know, now. Our Mexican friends might tell me otherwise, but...
Well, I suppose, like, here you might say a baseball cap for, a hat, still technically a hat.
Yeah.
But, there's a farmer's cap, so I guess they'd have different...
Yeah.
That's interesting. It's just...
Like, would they call this a fucking mariachi hat or something? Because they tend to wear that, like, do you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, the old mariachis.
I went to a wedding,
and
there was a mariachi group of 3 Filipino blokes. And when I tell you, they were fantastic. Because it was that fucking... horrible minutiae of the hours between the wedding and dinner. So they'd come to our table and the 3 of them would have guitars and you could request anything like Metallica, Eminem, and they'd do it in a mariachi version. Like, you know what I mean? It was fucking sublime. Like, I'm a big proponent of mariachi music and I didn't realise it. Like,
well, there you go.
You know what I mean? You learn something new, like on the walk over.
I know it when I hear it, but I wouldn't. There's. Do you
remember the Mavericks?
Is good.
They were the white guys.
Yeah.
Here goes my happiness again. They're a mariachi band, like. They have a song called, Ven hacia me or something. And it's all in Spanish, like.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And they're whiter than I am.
They're
remember that
bunkins,
music
like.
video. Well,
And the supermarket.
Yeah.
I think that's a great song.
It's not 97 or something.
Oh, it was old,
I think that was the summer I went to the Gaeltacht or something like that.
That's it. And kissed me first, misses me first, girl.
Sure, yeah. That's my story and I'm sticking to it.
But
what else happened down there is best left on.
Yeah. Fingering behind the sheds. I never went to the Gaeltacht.
He was a strong man, but a surprisingly gentle lover.
But I didn't think we'd start this off by talking about the Mavericks, but
no,
Jesus,
there we go. It's
but I tell you, like, that's why I think I don't have one style. Like, like someone's a jazz fan or something. Like, I don't have that. I listen to anything. Like, I listen to mariachi music. I listen to fucking gangster rap. I listen to thrash metal, and I listen to fucking pop music. Like, it's such an eclectic mix because the songs that were out when I was me formative music years were like the Mavericks, How Bizarre. Do you remember that song?
Yeah.
How Bizarre.
Were they from New Zealand or something like that? Yeah.
What a song, like. That song, Eagle-Eyed Cherry, Save Tonight.
Oh, Save Tonight, yeah.
Oh, man.
That's a great song.
Oh, yeah. Because that's my original favourite song.
A friend of mine saw him at, like, was it Electric Picnic? It's like 20 odd years ago. It was like years after the song, and he'd already become like kind of a one-hit wonder. But he said he played that at the end, and they went on for like 20 minutes playing it. And I was like,
yeah,
that sounds great.
That
was a hell of a song. Yeah,
like, I mean, it's completely different, but I'll never forget. I was at a Beyonce concert, right? And Single Ladies, but whatever version they did was like 15-20 minutes long, like, and there was
nice.
images to go along with it, like movies and all. Like, it was fucking sublime. It's the best thing I've ever seen performed. Single song. It's not the best concert I've ever been to, but
it's the greatest music video of all time.
according to Kanye West,
as I recall. Yeah.
yeah.
Has he gone back to Kanye West, or is he still?
He's still, I think. But he's on his apology tour.
You have to respect his opinion at this stage.
Yeah.
His mama call him Clay. I'ma call him Clay, as Eddie Murphy said in Coming to America. So speaking of great music, actually, shit, I'll do my fucking spiel here.
If James, your tie is a little bit sideways.
Oh, thank you.
Just for
this way.
I'm leaving that in.
Appreciate
Stylist.
it. Yeah.
Stylist, producer extraordinaire.
Thanks, Jamie. Is it still fucked? Is it?
No, it's the back of it. Look.
Oh, it's kind of split it. Thank you. For anyone watching at home, thank you for that, Kieran. I appreciate it. Desperado is a neo-Western action thriller from 1995, written and directed by Robert Rodriguez, starring Antonio Banderas, as I believe it's pronounced, Salma Hayek, Joaquim de Almeida, and Cheech Marin. The film follows El Mariachi, a wandering gunslinger who arrives in a Mexican border town, seeking revenge on the drug lord Bucho, only to become caught up in a violent campaign of vengeance with the help of bookstore owner Carolina. The film has a 7.1 rating on IMDb with a Metacritic critic score of 55 and a user score of 7.1. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a critic score of 71% and an audience score of 79%. It grossed approximately $58 million worldwide against a budget of $7 million. And on a personal note, folks, at the risk of evincing an unpopular opinion, I think Mexican women are quite attractive.
I think that's probably a great way to start. Just get it out of the way. Salma Hayek. Holy shit.
Dios mío, as I believe they say.
God.
Now, as gorgeous as she is, the first person in the film you see that you want to fuck is Antonio Banderas.
Very true.
There's a shot of him in the fucking, and what I really like about it is it's actually not the opening scene, but it's kind of the first thing I think of, the opening musical number, and it's essentially an action scene nearly because it's so exciting.
Yeah, but what a song as well. I listened to that
brilliant, yeah.
on repeat on the walk over, and that's Antonio Banderas singing as well.
It is, yeah. I listened
Banderas.
to that's probably even worse. the way I tried to
Banderas.
Bandit arse. There you go. That's the root of the name. There's a shot of him in that it kind of dollies in on him, and he's giving this kind of low angle look up, and you're just like, oh sweet Jesus Christ!
You start questioning your sexuality.
Yeah, it is just like fucking.
Thank God I'm not a homophobe. Yeah, I have to go home and kill myself.
He is just as sexy as anyone has ever been in any film ever. Like
something about this role and the character of Mariachi, because I mean, I know obviously in the original it's played by somebody else. He was actually in his trio quartet. I was about to call it a trio quartet. Yeah, but
which doesn't sound wrong.
No, it does. Yeah. But he's the guy on the right
he is, yeah,
on the screen. That's the original Mariachi for anybody who hasn't seen the original, because I mean, I don't know.
Apparently it's a tiny bit controversial because Senor Banderas is Spanish and not Mexican, and I don't know, maybe it'd be like if we see like an English guy and we're like
playing Michael Collins or something.
Yeah. wouldn't that be something? I say, folks. But he is, holy fucking shit. He's just so cool, and he's so...
If anybody ever just epitomizes a character, it's like, because I mean, Jesus Christ, I don't want to... I'm talking purely the character here, maybe not the film or that, but if you look at like... They were characters that they were born to play. You've got like Robert De Niro and Taxi Driver. Like just, you can't imagine. Even though this character was played by somebody else, now that since Banderas takes the mantle, you can't imagine it any other way. Like, it's like, how did they ever get away with it in the first place? Like,
no, he is just so perfect, and I have to say now, Rodriguez was very lucky that he got him a lot. And I look, the film is good on its own merits anyway, but like, he brings so much depth to it that is absolutely not there. Like, I remember there's a YouTube channel I like called In Frame Out, and he described, what's that one he made with Ben Affleck recently, Robert Rodriguez? I can't even say. It's on fucking Netflix or Amazon or whatever. But your man was describing it, and he says, a man who has never made a film with even a trace of subtext. And I was like, yeah, that's Robert Rodriguez for you. And like, he might be the first to say, yeah, what's your point? Like, but Banderas actually does give the character like some depth, and you, like, there's just bits in it where like Salma Hayek, like later on, she goes, she's all upset and she's like, "Were you any good at playing guitar?" And he goes, "I was okay." And he just, the way he says it, you're just like, man, there's so much. He gives it a character that is absolutely not there. And like Rodriguez just like, "Oh, let's make him mythic." And you're like, "Yep, perfect."
Yeah.
And then Banderas kind of added all this stuff.
It's a great performance. Like it really is. Because I mean, obviously, I wouldn't think Desperado is in the annals of people's like maybe even top 10 or greatest cinematic achievements or anything, but as just a character and a performance, I think it's one of the best. Like I really do. Like
it is. He's just born to play it. Like well, to be fair now, for the first 30 minutes, it is like you'd be like, this is the best film I've ever seen. Like the opening scene with Steve Buscemi. Actually, sorry, I got something cleared up. I asked a student in the school there, because you know Steve Buscemi is telling the story, and it really does set, like, Rodriguez is a talented guy.
It's
like,
brilliant. And do you know what? One thing that I noticed on rewatch was the tension in the first scene, because you're assuming that he's going to march through the door and start shooting up the place, and it doesn't happen. He just leaves, but you don't feel like let down or anything.
Well, it sets it up like. It sets up the entire film so perfectly. Like, this guy's mythic, he's big, and the comedy aspect of it and all this. But there's a bit where he goes, he's really laying it on. He's like, "Oh, it seemed like the lights dimmed just for him." And you know, the guy says something in Spanish. And for years I was like, I wonder what that guy said. So I got a student and I asked him today, and it was the most fucking obvious thing. It's like, he just goes, "Smells like bullshit." And I was like, I should have fucking guessed that. Like, what else would you say in that fucking context? Like, but it's brilliant, and it's really funny, and like how over the top it is, and the way the mad shotgun like pops out of the thing, and
some of the shots, like, I mean, I don't know if it's here or then later on in the bar when he actually does go in and shoot the place up. I think it is later on, but that shot where your man comes down, he kicks your man back and he shoots him with the shotgun.
He shoots him as he's...
It's pure fucking nonsense, but like it looks fantastic.
It's pretty, well, it is like, it's perfect in that opening scene, because it is like, it's the guys like imagining it, or it's like the myth growing and all this. And the way it's filmed on Banderas is so perfect. And I don't know how actually big he is, but he just looks like, when Buscemi says the biggest Mexican I've ever seen, and you're just like, yeah, that's like, he just looks it like, you know? And there's a lot of humor in it. And I remember actually a friend of mine, he said he saw this it was like a preview film they showed. And remember when Cineworld on fucking Parnell Street used to be the Virgin Cinemas? When that opened, that was like a big to-do. This was like a preview film, and he said him and his mate went, and they were just laughing their asses off like through the whole thing. They just thought it was the funniest film they'd ever seen. And a lot of people like were just kind of taking it more as like a straight action film, and I was like, I can see that. Like, the size of the fucking explosion.
Like, this is the world famous shot of Banderas and Salma Hayek walking away from the explosion. That was completely... that's something that's been so aped in every action film since.
You mentioned before that's basically the first one.
That was the first one, and it was all pure action. It was like, hang on, how do I do this? He goes, well, I can give you flames, like the stunt guy or the stunt coordinator. I was like, I can give you flames, but it's only going to be for a second. And he goes, okay, that's not enough. I need this to be... So I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll slow it down. I'll shoot it in slow motion. And that's where it comes from. Like, it was just pure... It wasn't like, storyboarding or that. It was on the day. I fucking want flames. I want big... But he had to slow it down, because that's literally seconds, like a second or two of flames.
It's a great shot, yeah. He just happened to catch like the two sexiest people alive ever at the right time.
Exactly, yeah.
Jesus.
And apparently there was a big to do about, guys, do not react to this explosion. We do this once. We have one shot, so if you do anything, it's fucked. Yeah.
Well, it's funny actually. So one time the film is great in little bursts. Like, for that opening scene is great, and the opening title music is great. So I was very high on having watched the film once, and two, I had the...
You were very high watching it?
Yeah, oh yeah, big time, yeah. No, I was on a high from watching it.
Okay.
Should have explained that more clearly. Which is not to say there's anything wrong with the other thing that you mentioned. So... I maybe met the only two woke Mexicans in the world, basically. And I was talking, and I know now there's plenty to criticize me as far as like, Jesus, you know what I just saw? Desperado. And it'd be like someone does saying, like, do you know what I just saw? That
Darby O'Gill and the Village People.
Fucking, what's her name? Lindsay Lohan, fucking Irish movie.
Yeah.
I would just go, all right, I didn't see that. Now, one of them knew me a bit better than the other one, and I was like, "Do you ever see it? It's brilliant!" And I whipped out the fucking phone. One of them was like, "Oh yeah." She knew me a bit better, and the other girl was getting like nearly offended, I would say. She was, oh yeah, that's real Mexico and all this. And I was like, oh geez, like kind
Do you reckon this is where
kind of fucked that up?
Does it start here, where that kind of yellow fucking...
Yeah, well, what I couldn't get over was, and I was smart enough to not push back and just be like, oh right, yeah, sorry, yeah. I'm like, that's not what I picture Mexico like. That looks like a tourist bar. I would be, if I were more offended by the hotel room Antonio Banderas, which looks like the most cockroach fucking ridden.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I ever went to Mexico and it didn't look like that, I'd be disappointed.
100%.
Like, I want to go down there and it is like something from the turn of the century, which is
it. Like, it's
cliched and horrible.
I mean, it is just a conceit that you have to take. Like, Poland is blue, Mexico is yellow, and like it's just one of those things. Like,
well, I think the look of this is fucking brilliant.
Oh
like,
yeah, it's ready.
Yeah. It has that. I can only describe it as like a kind of a Mexican look to it. Like, and I find myself, because I do a class on this in the English school I'm in, so I'd be like, cultural awareness and all this, and I asked the Mexicans, and I'm like, lads, what do you think? And they are genuinely, most of them are like, no, I can't even have an idea of what she's annoyed about, like, because they said it looks like a tourist bar. It doesn't look like a real cantina. And I said, well, to me, I showed them another film, but it's like the look of the opening scene of this, like that shitty bar and the hotel room he's in. And they're like, yeah, that's kind of, it's all kind of true. Like, there's different parts of Mexico. Like, there's parts of Ireland that are diddly eye.
Yeah. We were only speaking about that beforehand. Like, we always assume that the extreme is the norm in a different country. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, we were speaking about Indian fucking marriages and stuff, like, and like we assume that that's everybody, but it's not. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not. They're not all
big time. Yeah. Well, you'd ask someone and they'd be like, "The fuck."
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah. But like this, the vibe I always got off this is that it's rural Mexico. I wasn't. I didn't take it that all Mexico was like this. Like, do you know what I mean?
Well, I'm always saying to them, like, as well, I'm like, look, like, for example, like Mexico City is like a big modern city that it's more advanced than Dublin presumably, but I'm like, but you can fucking find a city like that in nearly any. If you go to Mexico, shouldn't you go to the places that are completely unique? Yeah. And that'd be the reason for doing this. And the other thing I say is, and this is a very Western centric, although Robert Rodriguez definitely has Mexican heritage anyway. I said basically the way they portray it in American movies, like in Westerns especially, is, yeah, we're all constricted up here in the US, but like a man can be free in Mexico. It might be more primitive, but a man is free and you can do X, Y, and Z. And there is, even in this, like, because there's no fucking cops showing up. And it is just like, sure, go on, lads. It's a little bit wild.
No federales.
Yeah, it's big, like, it's very... the first one I can think of is probably like with the Wild Bunch, Sam Peckinpah, like, oh, we'll head down there and they're all chilling out.
Yeah, it is kind of always portrayed as this kind of fucking outlaw, fucking Western type. Like
it might be a chaos. It might be a bit nuts, but sure, it's great crack. Yeah. You know, you just lie around drinking.
Just looking fucking from dusk till dawn, even. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's something from our point of view very attractive. Now, again, if I had shown that to them and I was like, look at all these fucking guys drinking cervezas, I could see them being like, you fucking arsehole. But I'm like, it was, that scene is a great scene, but that's not what I would think the real Mexico's like.
I think it's very funny
in my stereotypical view.
I do think it's very funny because in the opening scene, when it's a running gag throughout that the fucking beard is piss water. Yeah, and the
sound that it makes on the thing is very good. Yeah,
but and it's, I don't know why he chose this, but he just it's so kind of stylized because he just taps the thing and it's full.
I noticed that as well.
Yeah, so that has to be a choice because that happens throughout. Do you know what I mean? Even because later on when Quentin Tarantino arrives into the bar, same thing happens. Like, it's just a little touch and then the thing is full. Like,
yeah, it's interesting. Yes, he just doesn't like wasting time already. He's his own editor. Now, I did listen to the commentary track on this, and when I say it doesn't surprise me that he's a lack of fucking subtext, I'd say 99.99% of the time he's just like, here's how we did this, here's how we did this, here's how we did this. He's very good DIY. He's a very strong technical director.
Like, I do have to be honest, because I think we've spoken about this before, about how someone needs to stop putting a microphone in front of Quentin Tarantino, because he's just fucking like, genuinely he's lowered his estimation in my head because of all these podcasts he's doing, and he's just the way he comes across. But I've listened to Robert Rodriguez a couple of times. He was on Joe Rogan and a few other things, and he's fantastic. For all the issues that I have with a lot of his films, I'm much more endeared towards Rodriguez now than I would be Tarantino.
He seems like a very chill, cool guy.
Yeah, and he just he does it for the love of the game. And I always assumed Tarantino was like that, but Tarantino's just an egomaniac, like, do you know what I mean?
He is, but at the same time, it's like, jeez, he's just so damn good at it. Like,
no question on the craft of what Tarantino does. It's just the way he goes on. It's just like, I can't take
I can imagine working with Rodriguez. It might be a bit hectic, but it seems to me like he's just like, stand over there. And I do whatever I want.
Yeah.
Just hurry up, man. And I'm like, oh, all right, yeah. Fair enough. That sounds great to me. Like the bits of this film that really work, he had a very good cast, and that is him as well. Like that wasn't an accident. But like the bits that really work because he's like making the right kind of film for him. I think there's bits towards the end now where I'm like, oh God, what the fuck? But for the first like half hour, actually, when I was watching this, I was amazed how long it took to get to the big famous shootout in the bar. Because I remembered it being the first. It's like a half an hour in. It's quite far in.
But you can tell that he's going for style over like.
Oh,
because I mean, even the way Banderas is shooting, like he's fucking doing this, like it's metal. Like.
I remember watching that because we would have been 12. I remember watching that with a friend of mine. And he was like, we're 12, and he's like, "Would that make the bullets go faster?" And I'm like,
"So like, what was that film where they bend the bullets?" The Angelina Jolie.
Was it?
Wanted, yeah. That's the way they shoot the gun. Like.
That was actually on the commentary what he said, like he's throwing them, and he said like around the corner, but I always just took it as like a kind of a flourish, like. And I do miss scenes like this where it's just for the crack, like, and it's like it expresses his character. Like I wouldn't be as big on John Wick as some people are, where it's all like a little more believable, as silly as it actually is. I miss shit like this where he's just jumping around the place and fucking like he's tearing.
It's a great fucking scene in the bar.
Yeah, like shooting them for 1,000,000 times for no reason and fucking. Before we get to that though, this again just speaks how good technically Rodriguez is. When Tarantino walks in. With the other guy with the missing front teeth, like the rhythm of it and the way the music kicks in and all this, and it really does get you like, oh.
And I'd say, because I mean, we've spoken about Tarantino before and how we can be very flat at times. I think he's actually serviceable in this.
He's
like,
quite good in it. He's fine, like, and he was.
The problem is when he's just told to just kind of be yourself type thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's because he plays that very well. Because he is. When I'm watching this, I'm not looking at Quentin Tarantino as whoever. I'm looking at Quentin Tarantino as Quentin Tarantino. That's what it feels like. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what he's good at.
That's basically what he said. I think he said like we just let him do it himself, and like kind of. He even said like he won't stop talking, like, so we just let him off. He did like 3 takes for 6 minutes each, where he's just shiting on, and he said like cut around it, and he's grand, like
and it is very funny. He does that. One of the funnier parts that I remember is because again the piss water beer, and he takes the sip of it, and the face he pulls is fucking hilarious.
He is quite good, yeah. There's a good bit like when they tell the story, and like you're wondering like what are the mechanics of that phone call that happened, and why is there a guy with him who didn't check out, but. I always laugh where he goes because it could have been kind of stupid, or they could have.
But that's just cool. There's something just cool about when Cheech Marin just blows your man away, and it's like
and they have the thing like he kept talking about it, but they didn't do a squib. They just fired blood at the guy's face to make it look like his head blew up. But you had a bit where he goes like, "Oh, me and Bucco go way back." So like, Bucco, him too. And I'm like, "Oh, that's pretty good. That's funny." It's it's. As a film that just like amuses you and is entertaining, when it's doing that, it's right on the money. Like it's pretty, and he's very good. We talked a little bit about Planet Terror, and you were asking me, is so and so playing this character, and I'm like, there's like 20 fucking.
Yeah.
He is good, Rodriguez, at being like, oh, I want like crazy babysitter characters, and you're like, okay, and I want a mad doctor, okay, and a stripper with one leg. You're like, okay, like images you remember, and then it's like, are there any actual characterization? Not really, but like when he gets away with it, great crack.
I mean, I know that the whole Grindhouse thing that he did with Tarantino didn't get any love whatsoever, but I have to be honest, like, Death Proof for me is very much a guilty pleasure. I totally enjoy it. Like,
I find the dialogue, I just couldn't get into it. The action in it is great, and whenever Kurt Russell's on screen, but I'm like the rest of it, I'm like, Jesus, I have to be this fucking, like, there's bits in it I'm like, what is he even getting at? Where they have like, hey, we're gonna do this thing and let's describe it in insane detail, and I'm like, what is this shit? Like, I find that very weird.
I know, but I have to say I do enjoy it, and maybe it's probably more so the action in it, because like when he puts Zoe Bell or whatever her name is on the front of that car, like, that's no joke, like, they going for it. Like,
that's good. That's. I just found that Rodriguez was in touch with that a bit more. Like, he just genuinely
Planet Terror is very good. Like, but that's exactly what the assignment was. It was to make something fucking batshit crazy. Like, do you know what I mean?
Machete. What did you think of that? I think I saw the second one and that was pure shit.
No, yeah, the second one is terrible. The first one I always enjoyed. I thought it was great. And I'm melted that
I think
Mel Gibson in
was
space
okay,
didn't happen. Machete in space.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like basically a trailer at the end of the second one.
Yeah.
Because he flies off in a rocket.
And like, I know I saw the second one I didn't like. He doesn't need to be good with... This is actually the second one, which is an exception to it. But like... Machete 2 and fuck, what was the other one I'm trying to think of? Jeez, he did another like part 2 and I was like, oh Jesus. But I think we differ. I don't like Once Upon a Time in Mexico at all. I think I only saw
quite
it
enjoy that, yeah.
I don't
See,
know.
the thing is, like I was saying to you earlier on, I would have seen these two basically at the same time on the same day probably, originally. I would have got the DVD, both DVDs, and watched one after the other. So there was things that happened in Once Upon a Time in Mexico that I was like, hang on, where's that part? Like, do you know what I mean? Because whatever way, I've melded the two together. But I have to say, I totally enjoy it. There's something, Johnny Depp floating around Mexico. Like,
I remember when it came out, it was part of like, because people kind of forget, he was really like a Robert Downey Jr. character, where it's like, oh yeah, he's that guy, and he had a bit of this and a bit of that, and he's kind of a popular character actor. And then Pirates of the Caribbean, but that came out the same year, and everyone was like, who the fuck is this Johnny Depp guy? Jesus, he's amazing. He was very good in Mexico, like a good character in it. But then, yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean was just like, that was his Iron Man. Like, except it was pre-Iron Man, I know, but like, that just fucking blew him.
It's amazing how a performance can be so good that it gets so great and towards the end. Like, because when he was in like Pirates 4 and stuff, it's like oh, I'm sick of this now. Like, but he was so good. Like, I remember going to see Pirates of the Caribbean in the cinema.
Yeah,
and being as a child, like, and being blown away.
I remember the people reacting to it. And I was just like, "What is this?"
It was so funny. It was scary. It was fucking everything. It was a perfect film. And for the film to just be created off the back of a amusement park ride, like, do you know what I mean? Because that's what they say. Like, they say that's what Martin Scorsese says about the Marvel universe, is that they're theme park rides. But this is actually a theme park ride, and I might say it's absolute cinema. Like, do you know what I mean?
It was a great film. I actually, weirdly enough, we're getting very off topic, but fuck it. I rewatched it recently, and I enjoyed it so much. I was like, you know what? I'll give the second one and the third one a try again. Because remember, I found the second one like borderline unwatchable. I was just like,
it goes off a cliff. Yeah.
It's just like it was all over the
fucking first one, Jesus.
Some people swear by the first three. I'm like, all right, it's not my cup on tea. But
yeah, there's something about them bored me after. Once I saw the first one.
Yeah, I don't know. I know it's pre-John Wick, but I call it John Wick syndrome, which is like, okay, you had something that was good over here, but you doubled down on the stuff that I didn't care for. I didn't like the stuff in John Wick where it's like, oh, it's a secret society. And I didn't like that. I liked all the other stuff. And then they really fucking dove head first into that shit. And now, I'm like,
look, you're not going to get me saying a bad thing about the John Wick series. I fucking love it. I believe Kane is now in production. Have you seen John Wick 4?
No.
Donnie Yen plays a Chinese contract killer called Kane, and he's getting his own movie now. I saw Ballerina. It's fan-fucking-tastic. Anna de Armas any day of the week.
Fair enough.
Even if she's with Tom Cruise, fuck it. Do you know what I mean? But
nobody's perfect.
Yeah. The one thing I will say about Ballerina, right? And Jesus Christ, we are horribly off topic here, but fuck it. They show John Wick, because obviously everybody knows John Wick's going to pop up. Do you know what I mean? But so he pops up in the middle, and then he pops up at the end. And I'm like, surely that was a reshoot or something, because he should not have popped up in the middle. Because they make this whole big set piece of, oh no, here comes the Baba Yaga, like, do you know what I mean? He's going to come and fuck you up, like, because he's now been sent to kill Anna de Armas, do you know what I mean? And he turns out that he doesn't, like.
Was it one of them things actually where it was nearly supposed to be a surprise he was in it, and then they just started putting in the trailers?
In the trailers and stuff. Yeah. But the only thing is, I can only imagine that some test audience that said something, must have said, where's fucking John Wick earlier, and they reshot a scene for it. But it's it should be a lot more visceral or something when you actually see him.
Them are the kind of things, I know Keanu Reeves is a good rep of like how he is with his money, but them are the kind of things, he probably took like a tiny amount of money if it was a secret, and then if they use you for the advertising, it becomes like this whole other thing, and they just decide, look, just give him 10 million because we might make more money with it. Alright, nice way to make your fucking living. Anyway, to come back to Desperado, the film we're talking about, the shootout in the bar is very good, and it's one of the ones actually the other week we were talking about, like the Hong Kong kind of inspired thing. I forgot to mention this. It is after The Crow. The Crow was kind of the first one that I was like, and did it well, like the Hong Kong two guns kind of gun blazing thing. This is clearly inspired by that. He's got the two guns, but it does its own thing enough. It's a good approximation of what they did in Hong Kong in terms of the style and how many people get killed and all this. But it does its own thing well enough that you'd nearly be like, oh yeah, I guess that's kind of, you know, a Hong Kong inspired kind of a thing. But it's different and it's funny enough that it kind of exists on its own. And
it is great. It's so OTT and it's just perfect. Like, it's a great, like, because I mean, you have to understand, like, it can be very difficult to make something like this entertaining to watch or make it important for character or anything. It's a difficult job because, I mean, they're in a square bar. Like, it's not like, and the use of the space in terms of how they're behind the bar, going around it and all. It's
I think that's one
well
of the
done,
strengths of it, because there's other shootouts later that fall flat for me, and it's because this is in a confined space, as you say. And so to critique the film overall, though, this is a great action scene. This is what the film does really well. Later on, my problem then is there are times, and I think it was just Rodriguez sitting down kind of going like, all right, yeah, you should probably say something like this, like how he kind of regrets the violence or something, shouldn't he? And it falls so flat because this is such good crack, and he's having the crack when he's doing it, and it's a parody. He said like it's a parody of action films. I'm like, well then what's the bit at the end where he's talking to the kid in the hospital going like, oh, those men I killed, they are someone's son and someone's brother, and I'm like, that doesn't fit with fucking whipping the guns and he's fucking like having a dick gun in the fucking case. Thing, you know?
Which pops back up in from Dust Till Dawn.
They cut it out of this. Apparently, it didn't work well or something like that. I don't know.
But it is very much a fucking issue. Like, it's an issue with the writing that he has this kind of come to Jesus moment or whatever. Like, because the whole thing about it is that Mariachi is just he's not. You're on his side. He's a good guy. Do you know what I mean? But he's still a fucking murderer. Do you know what I mean? That's the fun of it. Like, do you know what I mean?
Oh, well, that's like now. It's a film we might talk about, so I won't go too much into it, but I haven't mentioned it in a while, so John was hard-boiled. The action scenes are what they're kind of aping in this. Like, Rodriguez specifically mentioned it in the commentary track. And there are moments in that which are similar, where the guys are kind of talking about, like, you know, shouldn't we be doing something else? Couldn't we do... And as exciting as the action is, it's not a parody like this is. Like, the action scenes are quite brutal. So you get a sense of, like, realistic... As much as you enjoy it, like, people just watch it and they're like, oh, man, can I get a gun and fuck a guy? But when you're watching it, okay, these guys find it brutal. So that kind of works. Whereas in this, it is just a lark. And it's like he's shooting fans so they fall on people. And don't get me wrong, it's fucking great crack. It's like, but if you're going to do that, you can't have the bit at the end where he's like, can't we all just get along and fucking, you know, pull the fucking other one, mate. Like, but there's some great witty stuff in this. Like, I love the bit at the end. I forgot how funny it was where him and the guy are picking up all the guns and they're empty. That's really clever. Like, that's funny, and the way they do it is good. And Banderas is great. Like, there's a great bit where he goes, and then he's to wait like a second or two for the guy to do it, and he's like, Banderas like, what? And like, it's just little stuff like that. He's really great, Banderas. Like, he's a great actor as well as being like fucking sex on legs, basically. But this is
how they get in. The way Banderas must interface with reality is very different to how I interface with reality. Like, it's a fucking like.
These women are throwing themselves at me. It happens you too. Yeah. Like, he's fucking... I imagine him as Puss in Boots. That's what I imagine his life is like.
Do you know what? You wouldn't be wrong. But then you see him, you kind of see him, and there is something, I don't know what it is, but there is something like almost mythic about this kind of beautiful people, like, do you know what I mean? But then you see them in a real moment on like a Graham Norton show or something, you're kind of like, oh... That's what they're ruining on me now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, actually, do you know what I saw? Who was it? It was some celebrity I kind of half from it, like Demi Lovato or something. And there was a picture of her on the red carpet, but it was like there was like a professional photographer took a photo, and then there was someone, you could see them in the photo with an iPhone up to her face, and she looked terrible in the iPhone photo, and she looked beautiful in the other, and I was like, Jesus, that's fucking... It was just... to have it like this little perfect object, you're like, Jesus, yeah, everyone looks shite at the wrong angle, you know?
Yeah, 100%, yeah. But I mean, surely Salma Hayek doesn't look shite at any angle.
No,
like,
that's true, yeah. If I test that notion, if she's
even
she's
now,
out there, yeah.
even now.
God almighty, yeah, she's
and
actually,
it's tough. Look, I'm not going to sit here and just fucking talk about her looks or anything, because I do think she's a strong actress. But
no, she's good in this, yeah, for sure, yeah.
It must be difficult because we can sit here and we're like, Antonio Banderas is sex on legs, but it can be easy to just go, oh, Salma Hayek is gorgeous, and just stop.
True,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I don't know if that's just some sort of deep-seated misogyny or something that we don't feel the need to talk about it. Or
probably, to be fair though, it took Brad Pitt like a long time to be kind of taken seriously and all this, but it's not as extreme. Like, you'd be lying now if you said it's not completely more extreme than, you know, like, it's harder to be taken seriously for sure. She is so she appeared, I was amazed how long it took her to show up in the film. I remembered her being in it more. She shows up after the shootout, and she literally causes a car crash, which again would imagine is an everyday occurrence for her. She still looks, she did that famous shoot like a year or two ago, and she still looks fucking gorgeous in it. Like, God, I don't know what they're putting in the water in Hollywood, adrenochrome or something.
Yeah.
And she is, I looked it up, she's 60 now.
60?
Oh, she's pushing 60 if she's not there already, yeah. It's a great time to be alive, because how long has she been good looking? Has Jennifer Lopez been good looking? We're living in great times, guys.
Yeah.
I gotta say. The Latinas,
but that's just something in the water in Mexico. That's what it is. Like,
I guess. So. Where is Jennifer Lopez? Is from
Salazar's Revenge, or whatever you call it.
Is it not Montezuma?
Montezuma's Revenge. Salazar. Do you know why I said Salazar? I'm thinking of Pirates Caribbean. That's in my head. Yeah.
I know she's from New York, Jennifer Lopez, but is she Puerto Rican, or what's her background?
Puerto Rican, yeah.
Okay, there is. Whatever that for. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I know that's West Side Story is Puerto Rico. Yeah. So actually, sorry, I have to digress slightly more. The story about Antonio Banderas was a podcast I listened to. I mentioned it before, The Projection Booth. And I forget why it was. I think it was, they were ringing it with your video store memories. And there was a guy, like, it's in the US, and it's, you know, so a guy used to work in a video store in LA. And when Antonio Banderas must have moved over, he was living in LA, and the guy said, oh, he'd come in and rent he'd asked me like a recommendation, because he was looking for movies to listen to improve his English. And the guy said, he would come in, and I said, did you like the movie I recommend? He said, no, I did not. And the guy said, he kept coming in, and I thought, oh, does he fancy me? Is that why he's coming in and he keeps asking my opinion? And I was like, sir, it's a podcast, and I don't know you, but Antonio Banderas would not want to fuck you.
But he knew who Antonio Banderas was.
He was kind of like I think I looked him up actually. Philadelphia, where he played Tom Hanks's boyfriend, was like his first US movie. So he was kind of like the kind of guy who'd work in a video store in LA would know who he was.
Do you think is Antonio Banderas is like kind of... Because when I think of Antonio Banderas, all I can think about is this or Puss in Boots. Like, I can't remember anything else he's ever done. Like,
I'm ashamed to say, because I keep meaning to, but he was in a lot of them Pedro Almodovar films, which a load of cineasts have seen, and I have never seen one. And I genuinely is one of these blind spots that I have. And apparently he's brilliant. And Rodriguez kept saying he'd made like 40 movies before he made Desperado. But you are right, to be fair. Like, I've kind of a limited view of him. I've only seen this, the Puss in Boots. I have seen Philadelphia. He was good in that.
It's been years since I've seen Philadelphia. Years.
Jesus. I saw him in one of these kind of like post-Taken movies where he played like a down-his-luck guy who ends up as a security guard in a mall, and then it's kind of a Die Hard rip-off. He's great. Like, when he showed up in one of the Expendables, I was like, oh, there he is. He was great in that. Like, he is amazing. He's doing great work, I'm sure, and I just fucking can't think of it. I haven't seen it. But to that guy on the podcast, he didn't want to fuck you, bro. Come on, get over yourself. You wanted to fuck him, presumably.
Aim lower.
Yeah, I mean, for fuck's sake. So Salma Hayek shows up, is very, very good looking, but she's also a good actress, solid actress. Again, I'd be lying if I said I can name 5 other movies that she's been in. From Dusk Till Dawn is the other kind of big one.
Frida.
Frida, she was good in that, actually.
She's very good in that, I thought.
She was Adam Sandler's wife in something.
Grown Ups.
Was she?
Grown Ups 1 and 2.
I still haven't seen those. I hear they're okay though, right?
They're not bad. As Sandler comedies go, they're not bad.
It's a little more high effort, is it?
Yeah.
I do think in this though, it was horribly unhygienic when she puts the cigarette out in the fucking bullet hole in his arm. Like that was a bit uncalled for. That doesn't seem necessary. What is she? Jeez, I haven't seen her in Anton in a while. Do you know? I remember seeing her in what the fuck? It's called Fair Game. Do you remember? You're probably too young, but there was that Cindy Crawford action movie with one of the Baldwin brothers. And I'm pretty sure it's Salma Hayek plays the Baldwin brother, his crazy Mexican girlfriend. And I remember even watching it like and being like, this is pretty cringy. Like this is OTT, and like it was just like the horrible stereotype of like the feisty Latina girlfriend. I was like, ugh. Fuck me, I can't think of. It's terrible. Just off the top of my head, like Frida was her big one. That she was a real passion project for her, if I remember, and it had to be in English. And Harvey Weinstein made them put that sex scene in with Valeria Golino.
Come on.
So, you know, it's an ill wind. It's an ill wind.
Not all heroes wear capes.
Yeah, it's an ill wind doesn't blow so good, as they say. We should maybe don't clip that. But so he's in with her, and it is like the film.
100% clipping that.
The film keeps clipping along. Like all the scenes are kind of amusing. Like the scene where he meets her, like they're very charming.
Like you said, I think it was a great way to describe it. Is it's great in bursts, because I think at times when it's toying, when Rodriguez is attempting to tie everything together, and it kind of just parts that I'm kind of like, okay, when's the next action scene? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he even says on the commentary it was recorded for a Laserdisc, and they have chapter stops. He says, I wanted to make it so like each chapter stop was its own little short film, and I was like, oh, that's
that's not great.
That's weird.
Yeah,
that's not a great way to be going about things.
So you're making a fucking shit. I can't think of the name. An anthology.
An anthology, except with a linear story and all this. Like the story, if you were to describe it, like was it you was kind of saying you should be saying therefore and all that. Like it is just a bunch of stuff that happens. Like he goes to like, and you could even hear like if Rodriguez, he goes to the church to meet Buscemi, which is that guy character's name, and this guy shows up. Why is
he in the fucking church? Like it's never really explained. It's just a cool setting, I suppose.
It is like, and it works well enough.
And he's in the confession box.
Yeah, Danny Trejo just shows up for no reason. He's meeting Buscemi in the fucking thing, and who is Steve Buscemi's character? Like, how did they meet? What's going on? How long has he been going around? The other thing is, why is he looking for Buccio? Because he killed the guy. They set up in this film that the guy who killed the love of his life and fucked up his hand is another character. So why is he looking for Buccio at all? What's the connection? Like, it's fine, but it is like, would you not explain that a bit better or give it more motivation?
I mean, I think Rodriguez would go, what?
Whatever, what are you talking about, bro?
What you mean?
But like the individual scenes, like they're, from the way he seemed like he put it together, work perfectly well. But it is weird. I do like him in it. Joaquim de Almeida, I think he's Portuguese actually.
Is he?
Funny enough, yeah.
Yeah, he's very good. He's in a couple of things. He was in his second week in a row bringing this up, but Fast and the Furious.
Is he?
He's in the fifth one.
Okay.
He's the kind of big bad in the Brazilian. Big bad
I would have thought. We should have thought that, because the Portuguese angle. He's in Clear and Present Danger as well. He's He's not the drug baron, but he's like the drug baron's right hand man in Clear and Present Danger.
There's something else that he's in and I can't remember it. He looks very like Costas Mandylor.
Which one is he again?
Costas Mandylor was in Virtuosity.
Oh yeah. He does kind of. Yeah. Jesus, what a memorable name. Yeah. Do you know? I actually liked, but I don't know how intentional it was, but he set up as like this drug baron character, but every time you see him, he's just like, Jesus, I'm surrounded by these fucking idiots. Like, and you get that every now and then. I was like, I wish they kind of pushed that a bit more and made him like they have to. I think it was a good decision to make him kind of scary and intimidating. But I was always like, it could nearly become like a satire of just like, Christ, like he's like, hey, what's the number to the phone in the car? And you're like, that's actually pretty clever. Like, it shows like it might look like everything's great, but like they're kind of falling apart at the seams at the same time. And I was like, there's.
I mean, at the end of the day, like, I mean. People don't like to think of this. They think of like cartels and everything as just fucking evil maniacs. But like there's admin involved. Like, do you know what I mean? You can't make billions and pound billions and not have paperwork. Like, do you know what I mean? Like these fellas are the real deal. Like they're like running countries. Like, do you know what I mean? That's what it's like.
Yeah. What was the thing about Christ, I'm gonna blank on his Pablo Escobar, and his operation spent like 30 grand a year on rubber bands for all the money or something. There's a lot of overheads, money. You know?
Like there's loads of like these kind of fucking after midnight shows on the History Channel, and they're like searching for Pablo's gold, like, do you know what I mean? And they go into Mexico into Colombia, and they're like digging around and all, like, cause they reckon there's hundreds of millions just buried and nobody knows where it is, like.
Jesus. A lot of money in that white powder. My God.
Stop, man.
But I always found that kind of funny, and I like his henchmen are like, one of them's literally called Shrug because he shrugs a lot. His right hand man's called Right Hand, and you are like, it's like, I remember once the guys on that Red Letter Media channel, they did a thing about like, why is it Order 66 in Revenge of the Sith, and you can imagine George Lucas, it should be Order 666 because that's evil. No, that's too obvious. 6, that's not enough. 66, there we go. And you can just picture him being like, he needs a right hand man. I'll just write down Right Hand. Yeah. And then like a month later, I'll never say his name anyway, fuck it. Like, he was like, all right. And to be fair to him, I remember the guy who is his right hand. If I saw him in something else, I'd be like, that's that guy from Desperado. Yeah. So to be fair, like it doesn't necessarily not pay off for him, you know? Christ, I'm kind of fucking... so this is what I mean, like it gets very wobbly in the middle, but like the pace of all the individual scenes kind of keep it going. But this is where Danny Trejo, I think a lot of us first noticed him. As the guy who never says anything and just throws knives, and it looks fucking cool. Yeah.
There's something about Danny Trejo, like, I mean, I thought it's hard to even put into words, because he's like, he's probably the Keanu Reeves effect, where he just seems like a nice guy, and he's not amazing by any stretch as an actor, but you just watch him. There's a charisma and a gravitas to him. Is kind of,
he's like 80 now or something. He's born in the mid 40s. So I want to say he was in, what was the name of the fucking movie? It was the one, a Runaway Train or something like that. I think that was like one of the first things he did. But he was a legit criminal guy, like, but this is the first time I think a lot of people were noticed, because I think
like, he has something that he's not say that, like, if he's playing a bad guy, that he has to die in everything that he's in.
Oh, does he?
I think so, yeah, because he doesn't want to be seen as getting away with it.
Crime pays.
Yeah. I definitely heard that somewhere. I could be fucking talking out my arse, yeah.
Okay, that would make, well, this is what Rodriguez does so well. Like, that was kind of his big break, I want to say, Danny Trejo. And like, Rodriguez had this image of a guy going around with the cool knife sticking out of the thing who doesn't say anything, and he just goes, you're fucking perfect. 6 man. Brilliant. Like, he's really, I don't want to downplay the stuff he does well, because he does it so well. But then, as I say, later on, you're like, oh Jesus, like, that's a bit fucking lazy, man. I mean, come on. Like, that was my problem with Once Upon a Time in Mexico, is there's a scene where Johnny Depp's like, I'm gonna go kill the chef in the kitchen because his food is too good, and then he used like a mini DV camera to film it, and I was like, man, would you not just use the fucking camera you were using for the other scene? And it just was like, no, it's good enough. And I'm like, it records an image, don't get me wrong. But like, would you fuck off with that? He just strikes me as someone who isn't like as disciplined as you might kind of like. But like, again, everyone reading the reviews for this, it was like, the visuals are amazing, and he made it for $7 million down in fucking Mexico, basically by himself. Like,
what percentage was? Because he made fucking El Mariachi for $7,000. So
$7,000, yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, I see that.
I tried to rewatch El Mariachi, but I just couldn't find the version with subtitles. It was weird, like.
I find with El Mariachi, you have to kind of watch it, giving it a bit of a handicap. Like, you kind of go, fair play to him for making it so little money. But it is like, but apparently it was just watched and appreciated by people as a movie.
But the thing is about that is, I always get the sense, and I never get the sense in anything else. Like, even if I'm watching a Roger Deakins film, I never get the sense he's behind that camera. But I really get a sense that, when, like, even as it's opening and he's getting all his inserts and stuff for the cop car and what have you, it's like, he's behind that camera. You know what I mean? I feel his presence there, like, and I think that's what kind of makes it live, and gave him the opportunity for Desperado, is because of that kind of sense of itself. Like,
well, fair play to him for pulling it off. Like, and look, he is a talented director. Like, as I say, he was beating that drum for years though about his budgets and all this, and then he ends up making fucking Battle Angel Alita. It's like 200 million in the most high tech fucking highfalutin kind of a thing. Like, and you know,
He's still he's built. That set is in his backyard.
Is it?
Battle Angel. Yeah.
Jesus. He does seem like that kind of a guy. Like, that's one of the reasons I kind of, as you say, he just comes off as like a cool guy.
Did you not like that?
I thought it was fine.
I thought it was okay. Yeah,
I didn't have any.
I didn't hate it by any stretch.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised now it wasn't a huge hit around it. Wasn't it from an anime or something?
I couldn't tell you.
Not a. I don't know. Been to Japan how many times? Not an anime fan at all. And I'm not saying I think it's bad. It just doesn't ring my bell. So then again, there's a film just kind of keeps going off of its steam and like some of the. So the next thing is to kind of talk about. So Joaquim de Almeida has like a bulletproof limo that they're going out looking for the El Mariachi in, and Danny Trejo found where. This is what I mean. Like, it gets a little like, why was he there? How did he know this? How did he know that? So he attacks some Steve Buscemi and Antonio Banderas as they come out of church. Kills Steve Buscemi. And then I remember even the first time I saw it thinking, that's kind of funny how they have this huge armored limo and this fucking guy with knives was legitimately like taking them apart. I was like, that's pretty clever. Like, and like, that's again, Rodriguez going, oh, what would I do? That'd be cool. And it's like, yeah, it is. Fair play. Yeah.
Because when that works, like you said, it works. But sometimes that doesn't work. Like, it's like you have to put a bit more effort in here.
Well, actually, funny enough, watching it this time, it was a little kind of chintzier than I remembered. Like, back in the mid-90s, it just looked like, oh, that's fucking brilliant. I think nearly it was because I listened to the commentary and he was going like, oh yeah, them knives didn't work right half the time. So I found myself watching it going, oh yeah, he should have just kept his fucking trap shut.
One thing that I want you to know is now, it is a bit of a victim of the stormtrooper fucking theory. How come the bad guys can't hit anything? Like,
yeah, there is the bit in the bar, you just kind of let it go. There are bits later where they attack the bookshop. Like, there's a bit where him and Salma Hayek are standing at the bottom of a narrow staircase, and a guy shoots twice and misses him, and you're like, come on, like, I mean, Jesus. Because it doesn't bother. It used to be a thing like when I was 12 and I was like, hang on, guns don't have that many bullets. Doesn't bother me now, but that kind of thing, I'm like, that's still a little, come on, man. Yeah, of course, like, the good guy doesn't get hit by the bullets, but it just didn't seem like he gave a shit, to be honest. And like, that's an attitude I can honestly get behind, is I was like, who gives a shit?
Like, I mean, because if one thing that Rodriguez does, he owns it. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not like, it's not like he's pretending to be anything that he's not. Like, do you know what I mean?
No, he says on this, the continuity's all over the place, and I just told her no one will notice. It'll be quick. Fair play. He made a movie where that.
I did. Now that you mention that, because in the bar shoot up scene, Antonio Banderas is crawling around looking for magazines, and he has two in his belt, and when he had to realising that there.
Okay, Jason.
And he goes through all this hullabaloo to get the fucking magazines out of the case.
I'm amazed I didn't watch that, because one thing the film does as well is like the two guns that he has are so fucking cool. The silver ones, like, and they're fetishized.
But I love the fact that they made them just like silver. They didn't do the stylistic gold fucking. Made them too cool looking, like.
Yeah, well, they're just very cool, like, well chosen. And Heckler and Koch, I think, is the style of pistol. For a sound off in the comments, we'll get the gun nuts hopping on me if I'm wrong. But they're very cool, those guns. I remember being 12 and being like, oh fuck yeah, look at them, look at them yokes. I want a pair of them. So we get into like what's kind of a heavier scene then after that, which again I think the film has trouble kind of supporting. He meets the kid from earlier on who we kind of mentioned, who's slightly annoying but not that bad, and the kid is like,
you know how we feel about child actors in this show, like, you know what I mean? So
not fan. On a scale of Volcano to fucking Jodie Foster and Taxi Driver, he's, you know, a 3 or something. He's okay, the kid, but he's just kind of random and not very compelling in it. But he's doing some kind of a drug swap, and Banderas seems like genuinely like morally outraged by him, and I was like, it's a bit fucking pearl clutching in.
But is that not the whole point? Like, Almeida actually just kills drug dealers, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it just, The film just
It
didn't.
is a bit
support
soap opera, you know, when he smashes the guitar and he's holding the drugs. What is this?
Yeah, this is why your father doesn't work anymore. And like he just seems to be out for revenge, but then this just kind of seems tacked on, you know. It does come after. I do like the scene again, and I say there's kind of a workplace satire going on where they bring in Danny Trejo and he's on the phone like, well, what does he look like? All right, dark hair, dark skin, and then he's literally listing off like every feature that he has, and it's like, oh, bollocks. Yeah, if we see him, we'll let him know. But yeah, that kind of stuff, like with the kid, I'm like, the film just doesn't really support it. And this is where the film really gets a bit stringy now, I find. Because it goes there's some kind of cute scenes with him and Salma Hayek where they have like a good chemistry.
They do. That's one thing that they definitely have. Like, it's fucking hard not to. Can you imagine like them not having chemistry and being so good looking? Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it'd be what a.
I think it's easy to have chemistry with people when you've grown up and nobody's ever called you fucking ugly or anything. Like, do you know what I mean?
You'd imagine, yeah. Did you ever hear that story about
Yeah, do you ever look at fucking women like that or men and you're like, you just can't be self conscious? Like, it's impossible. Like,
was it Robert Redford or something? And I forget what the film was, but they're like, you know, well, to play this role, you know, you have to really be able to tap into like your angst and all this. And he's like, well, what do you mean? And the director goes, yeah, but like, you know, like when you're stood up for a date on a girl, and he's like, what do you mean? I was like, you know, when a girl doesn't show up for a date with you, she doesn't want to go. And he was, I think it was Robert Redford, was genuinely like, what are you talking about? It's like, of course it never happened to you, you fucking handsome bastard. Like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, you'd have to imagine they do. Just, it's like that meme of Henry Cavill. Just ask her out. Always works for me.
Yeah. You're fucking Superman.
Jesus Christ. But the scenes are, again, like the chemistry doesn't necessarily have to be there. But I remember that.
What a prick Henry Cavill is.
Fucking pretends to play video games, or for all I care.
Warhammer 40,000.
Isn't he? Apparently he is legit like that.
I know he is. Yeah, he's a geek.
I know a guy who may have worked with him, and he said he's very private, and but he said he was perfectly polite at all times. So if that means nothing to you, all ladies, there you go. That's what he's like. So the next big kind of scene is, and this is again where the whole film kind of seems to get stringy for me, is the shootout at Salma Hayek's bookstore. Actually, sorry, before that, Bucho shows up at the bookstore.
Oh yeah, and he's hiding behind the...
Yeah, like the scene is fine. Like, and there's a bit where Antonio Banderas is trying to reload the guns and trying to be quiet about it.
And he's not being quiet though.
No, and it's in the sound mix, it's like... And like his reactions though are really funny. Like when he sees these no bullets, he's like, shit. And it's the loudest fucking, and he has to pull the hammer back like it's fucking slowly. So it's all like, it's a good scene, but again, like at that stage of the film, you're just like, oh, come on, like there's something not quite working about it. And I think it's, again, he just maybe should have spent a bit more time with the script and figured out like a way of simplifying it or something. But again, Joaquim de Almeida, for some reason I keep trying to say his whole name, is threatening enough. Salma Hayek is good at playing like she's intimidated. The scene's kind of funny. And then I did like how he just later on like realized, Joaquin, he's like, oh no, he's there. And he's riding your one on the bed with like his legs crossed and he's just smoking a cigar. Again, like all this stuff is like, this is pretty good. But when you see it in the context of the film, like the film is just not, it's just kind of losing the run of itself at this stage.
Yeah. That's what I said at the start. Like, this is what happens when you give someone a budget and let them run wild, like, do you know what I mean? Yeah.
He, again, like, for what he pulled off for the budget, but then it's just still, like, it didn't have anything to say about anything. So it should have been, I was amazed actually when I was sat down to watch it and I set off the timer on the DVD. I'm like, this is an hour and 44. Like, it has no business being longer than 85 minutes. Like, this kind of, and it would have been a lot better if it had been, I would say.
It would have been a wonder,
Yeah. Because then, so it is a funny, so they have the good sex scene, I might add. It's pretty good. That you get to see.
Yeah, sure. That's surely where David Fincher got the idea for Fight Club, the sex scene.
Yeah, with all the fades and all this. Yeah. It is absolutely ludicrous. I don't think it's a parody, but like he's kissing her upside down. Someone's running a spur over someone's arse or something. And I'm like, what the fuck are they? Like, would you not just be drilling away there? Like, that's what I'd fucking be doing.
Yeah, we'd be
5 second one.
It wouldn't last long at all.
That's why they. That's why
You're
they
just so beautiful.
That's why they invented round 2, sure. But it is.
Round 2, 7 seconds.
It is. I'd be like your man in American
Oh
Pie
man,
or something.
I would fucking disappoint Salma Hayek so much.
Oh, twice a night and 4 times on Sunday. But then again, and the kind of follow up is when they attack. And again, when I describe it to you, and Rodriguez says, "Oh, I was writing this in the script and I was laughing." She's singing the song in this real breathy Marilyn Monroe kind of a way, and he sees them coming and he's got the guns going. And again, it's great, but I'm like, the problem is there's been like 10 minutes of kind of slack stuff. And I just wish it had been this. But it's, again, pretty good. That shootout is a little weaker than the others.
Yeah, I do like the way it's shot and how he ends up with the guns pointed at Salma Hayek. Yeah,
that's very good.
Like, yeah. Cool.
And the timing of it was really well done. Like in the editing, it has to end at a certain point. That's cool. When it kicks off, it's a bit like, okay, this is grand. Has some of the good stuff where they're jumping off the roof and all this, and the explosion you mentioned. Now, where the film really, I wouldn't be fair to say, but comparatively goes off the rails nearly completely compared to how good it was, is why the fuck is Bucho his brother? I'm just like, where the fuck is that coming from?
That seems like that's something that seems very. I'll just make him his brother. Like, just there's no fucking.
Well, it just seemed like, oh, he has to kill him now. Shit, how will I get out of this? Because he has him in his sights, and it's like, where is this coming? It's just weird. Like, it's just like, that's a really weird creative. I assumed it was something from the original I didn't know or something. Yeah. And it's not. Which is a shame, because when they have the showdown at the end, they're two good actors, and I'm like, there could be something here, like where he's like, oh, you are so perfect, his little mariachi. And I'm like, God, if they'd have somehow managed to flesh that out, I think it would have been really good. Yeah,
see, because it just comes out of nowhere, like, and it's like, it's although big reveals like that are kind of meant to come out of nowhere, but it just doesn't seem to work here. Like, I don't think
it's soap opera, but it's not done as a parody. It's played.
Like, it's had a novella or something.
Like, that's what I was kind of thinking. Would they? What's it? Oh, that's the cleaner. Cynthia. She's fine. Where were we? I was thinking, it'd be funny if it was they did a parody and like he turns away from the gun sight and he's like biting his fucking finger and he's like, I cannot tell you what's going on with my brother. But it just comes out of nowhere, and it's just weird, like, and it doesn't go anywhere. No, really,
because it's fucking. It's not long left once we find out. Like, it's almost
there's too long left, but there's no story left.
Basically, yeah. That's a great way to put it. It's too long.
Yeah. So then he calls in the two boys, so his two mariachi friends, and this.
I did enjoy this. This is cool. Like the way they're fucking. Rocket launchers and the guitar cases and all.
That's all good. My problem is, though, this is as the problem is the opening shootout and the shootout in the bar are so good. This to me is just very stock, like people firing guns, cut, and there's people falling over, and it's in a much wider space. And why is everyone there? Where are they? Yeah. Why is the kid there randomly? It is all just there's some funny bit, like the guy who's really well set up, the guy who gets his leg broken, and then he kills Danny Trejo, and then he just gets killed off like completely. He just jumps off a roof for some reason,
because they set him up, like they give him time and stuff to do, like
that's what he's great at, Rodriguez, because you're like, oh yeah, okay, and then he's like, oh fuck, what do I do with this guy? And it's like, not much. And then the two lads with the guitar kit just get killed very unceremoniously. That bit I was like, okay. That even when I was a young fella watching, I was like, oh, it's kind of run out of steam here now. I do like the rocket launcher.
It does get to that point where you're like, oh, just fucking end it. Like, do you know what I mean?
That should have been the ending completely.
I mean, in another 10 minutes, and you'd be saying this is crap. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
nearly get. Well, actually, this might be for the best, but like then the kid gets shot for some reason, and I actually, again, to be a wanker about this, I'm pretty sure he was aping a John Woo film called The Killer, which has a similar scene of there's a shootout and you see a child being hit by one of the bullets. And in that film, it's genuinely shocking. And at the risk again of sounding like a wanker, as someone on the internet will call me, it has impact in that film because that film is about something.
Yeah.
This is about how cool Antonio Banderas looks. Here it's like, what's that? It's a bit weird. And it just doesn't work at all. Like, it's just inappropriate.
And then we have that fucking scene in the fucking hospital. Like, do you know what I mean? It's completely
Actually, I wanted to ask you, there's a scene earlier on, and at the time when I first saw it, I took it as the hospitals around here be shitty, you don't want to go. Because earlier Salma Hayek goes, you don't want to go to a hospital around here. I was thinking, does it mean the hospital here are terrible, or does it mean Bucho owns the hospitals, so you don't want to be... I still take it as the first one, though. They're not very good.
Yeah.
But then they show up and they save the kid, and they seem perfectly competent to me. I don't know.
That's a good point. But no, completely. I didn't assume Bucho fucking owned them like anything. Like.
Yeah, I just took it as, this is a shitty area.
And then again, like to go back to what you were saying about your woman getting offended. I don't think that's all of Mexico. I just think this is a shithole part of Mexico.
Well, you could say in fucking Dublin. Like,
we have Cherry Orchard in Dublin. Like,
you don't want to go to James, for fuck's sake. Who knows? But it is meant to be a certain area of Mexico. Like, it's a fictional town, if I'm not mistaken. Then we get to where it really is weird with the showdown with Bucho. Salma Hayek goes along with, and again it nearly should be a good scene because they're both playing it so well, and there's a lot of feeling in Antonio Banderas' face and the way Joaquim plays it. And he's like, oh, you did all this to me, so I'm going to kill the woman. It's a good setup. It's good stakes. And then it just kind of ends. And there was a big shootout, apparently, that was just cut out. So he just does the thing with the guns, shoots Bucho, fade to white, and then that's it. And I think actually... As much as when I was 12, I was like, I want to see that.
I did think that was weird the way it ended. Like, now that you mention it, that it makes sense that there was a whole thing. Like,
well, the way they're all too spread out, I was nearly like, if it was like a thing of like they're meeting in the middle of a dirt road and all of his people are behind him, and like it just seemed like he just kept blazing. It just seemed like, what the fuck? Like it's just a very weird kind of a way to do it. I think his hands were tied. He said the sensors didn't take to it or whatever. But it just is weird. And then it cuts to him in the hospital talking to the kid. He's like, everyone I killed is someone's. It's like, where is this? It's just, it's
out of character. Like, it's not. It's you're asking Antonio Banderas, who's played this fantastically well, to change all of a sudden. Like, do you know what I mean? And it just doesn't work for me.
Yeah, remember the only time he mentioned Anton, like, if you'll forgive me, like thematic or artistic, was Rodriguez says, he's kind of a darker character, and you expect characters to be dark in a film like this. Like, that's it. Like, really interesting. And I just find it weird. Like, this film should end with Bucho giving like some big pompous speech, and the mariachi going like, Cinco de Mayo, motherfucker, and like blowing him up. And it's like, why didn't you end it like that? That's good crack. Like, why is it end with this weird, very downbeat kind of a weird ending? Like, you just find that.
And even if his hands were tired, you could have come up with something better with a bit more effort. Like, but again, it's where Rodriguez hamstrings himself by just going, sure, be grand.
Well, yes, we're on
very Irish sensibility. That
I'm kind of tracing it out now, and I'm like, even the other one I'd know well would be Planet Terror, and that has kind of a weird, unexpected ending as well. Like, it's like who you might think is kind of a big character gets killed, and it's kind of like again, like more downbeat than you would think for like the kind of thing he's doing. Maybe it's just his sensibility, and fair play to him. The sex scene is on in the background, folks, if you're wondering why
we've gone distracted.
Yeah. I'd have already shot me one by this point 2 or 3 times, presumably. Look, overall, it reminds me actually a lot, this film, of and again, I'm called a wanker anytime I mention this, but there's like 50 Hong Kong martial arts films in particular that are no fucking good, except they have an amazing action scene at the end, and then when you watch it, you just come away, and like 5 years later, do you see that one? Yeah, that's really good. That's a good one.
Yeah,
and it's just because you remember that. This film is like that, except the action is all at the start, and it just is so good it kind of doesn't really body it. But like, anyone who says this film is amazing and perfect is not being
Watching,
honest about
yeah,
the last half an hour. Like it's
no, kind of does
it-
derail itself.
as much as there's so much great stuff in it, I just wish he would have been a bit more disciplined, and it kind
I
of.
think you're just asking too much from
I
someone.
think so. Yeah,
Do you know what
I
I mean?
think so. Yeah. I want to say when I saw Planet Terror, no, actually, sorry, I only saw the full length version, but like that to me was like what Rodriguez was born to make. And he was born to make this. Don't get me wrong, but I just wish someone had just been like, oh man, would you not do this? Yeah, you're right, and that'll save me money. I'm big on that, aren't I? And, you know. But again, just in terms of the physical thing, fair play to him. And he is a talented guy. Like, as much as I said Banderas brought a lot to this, he wrote the dialogue.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's there on the
You
page.
had to give him something to be able to play, like, do you know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah. What else is Rodriguez? So there's it. Some people swear by the Spy Kids films.
I remember
Did you
loving
see
them
you
as a
saw
child.
them?
Yeah. So I would have seen them in the cinema and everything. Like, I would have been young that age. Like,
I remember actually there was a guy big into him the first time I was in college, and he was like, "Oh, Robert Rodriguez, I like him," and he was a bit gothy, like, and I was trying to kind of make small talk with him. Like Robert Rodriguez, and I says, "Oh yeah, I like Desperado," and I like The Faculty, and I remember he was, "Yeah, he only made that so he could do Spy Kids, you know, that was one for them," and I was like, okay, yeah. I was like, Spy Kids is his passion project, and apparently it was. Yeah,
it is.
I know. I was being all snooty about it, but I was
But
like,
yes, we spoke about this. I don't know if we did or not, but We Can Be Heroes is like the most
like the
watched and
fucking-
rewatched children's film
I
ever on
didn't
Netflix.
even know it existed. Yeah,
Millions and millions of hours watched. Like, do you know what I mean?
yeah. Sin City is good.
Fantastic.
That plays
I
to
love
his strengths. That might
Sin
be
City.
overall his best.
Yeah,
I'd
that's
say,
that's up there. Like, genuinely, one of my favorite films.
That is very good. Jet. I remember seeing it. That was a phenomenon.
Oh,
when
yeah.
it came out. Yeah.
And he fucking ruined it with the second one.
Yeah, although Eva Green was in that, so there's an ill wind to society. What else is he? The Faculty is good. I remember liking that a lot.
We Can Be Heroes, Spy Kids.
Elite
Battle
we'll have
Angel.
to agree to disagree on Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Predators.
Oh, yeah. Did he direct that or just write it? Yeah.
Or maybe yours wrote it.
No, yeah, it was some guy. It was the guy who directed. It's called Nimrod. I always remember that. He wrote it or he produced it or something. Yeah.
That's actually pretty good. For Predator doesn't seem Predator 1 and 2 I fucking love.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's a big kind of mode shift in the second one too, but I think it's cool. I think Danny Glover's great in it.
I just have a weird thing. Sometimes I'm like, sure, you can't judge it against other things, and then other times I'm like, no shit compared to Predator 2, and I just can't switch that part of my brain off.
Yeah, no, but what was great was, have you seen Prey?
No, I haven't. I hear that's good.
But, it's very good. And what's cool about it is it harks back to when he's in the ship at the end of Predator 2 and he hands him the gun.
Oh,
she
yeah.
finds the gun is in Prey. Because it's from that era, like it's from the 1800s or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, it's very
I
good.
remember once at the Comic
What's
Con.
that man's name? Dan Trachtenberg or something?
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
He's doing another one or he
He's
did the
doing-
other one.
Yeah, Into the Badlands.
No, I remember once at Comic Con, we were going anyway. And
Predator Badlands, not Into
Predator
the
Badlands. Yeah.
Yeah.
Into the Badlands is the
TV show.
Yeah.
I was on that.
Were you? Oh yeah, that's the kind of a friend of mine was in that as well.
Yeah.
We were at Comic Con like years ago, and we were there.
I never got the call.
And we saw and was like, oh, this is a Predator fan film or something like that, and we were like, sure, go on, we'll see it, without thinking about it. Like, and we show up, and like this credits in like horrible font come up with like really shitty lower end music, and I remember like getting this thing of like, oh no, I didn't think this through. We're trapped for 20 minutes watching this shite now. But we all watched it and we were like, look, bless the guy. He just had the Predator outfit and he decided to make a movie. God bless him. And the guy comes out and he was like an Eastern European, like, we have this thing of like, I make a movie. And he comes out and someone's like, where'd you get the Predator costume? I was like, yes, actually, I wanted to make the film and I had to find the costume. And we were like, what? Like, we were morally outraged. We were like, wait, you wrote the fucking script first and then you didn't just make it, you fucking arsehole.
I know you've made me watch this
It was fucking awful, but it was all about, it was set in Ireland, and that it was where the Predator got the flintlock pistol. And it was, if he's listening, you fucked up. Sorry, pal, you fucked up. Anyway, on that
bombshell.
On that digressionary bombshell. Non-submersible units.
It has to be the bar scene.
Bar scene, yeah.
100%.
And the two Latino baddies, as the kids say today, at the centre. Salma Hayek and
like I mean, because it does have a few, like you'll never forget. Like Banderas is Mariachi, like, do you know what I mean? He is.
Oh yeah. So, no, it is legit like one of the best castings like in cinema history.
Yeah,
he is so
phenomenal. Like he was born to play it. Like,
and he was just like at the height of the whole thing that he's got going on. My God in heaven. Star rating, which is trickier.
I'd go 3, middle of the road, because I mean I think I'd almost push it. I had to have a debate with myself there about pushing it to 4, but I think it just, if you're being honest about the last half an hour, 45 minutes, it
does let it down. I have to give it a 3, unfortunately. It's hard to say now.
But it's definitely worth watching if you haven't seen it. Like, fucking watch it.
Yeah, it is. It's one of those things where I was like, I was surprised at how little money it made. I was like, this must have made like 80, 90, and it was, but it's a well-known film. Like, it's just the kind of thing you see even in a trailer, and you're like, oh yeah, cool. I remember that. So very good, and a kind of film again to be boring. They don't make anymore, like a low-budget film where they actually shoot guns and things actually explode. It'll all be fucking horrible CGI plugins now or whatever. But a memorable film from the 90s, which was a very strong movie period, you might say. Wonderful. Well, to all the Latino baddies out there, please like and subscribe.
Send me an email.
Yeah. Hit me up. Have you seen that meme where it's like the Inglourious Bastard scene of the two guys sitting at the table where it's the Jews under the thing?
Yeah.
And they have the thing, when ICE is in my house, but the Latino baddie in my attic has to celebrate her Chihuahua's 4th birthday. And it's like there's some, mariachi song playing very quietly in the background as it zooms in on Christoph.
Yeah, it's very good.
Stuff, it's a popular one. That'll timestamp this. That was a 3-month period, or that was popular.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well,
so like, subscribe, all that usual good stuff. Tell a friend. Get it at us on Instagram, because Jesus Christ, man, it's so painful. Because I'm so conscientious of it, because it just doesn't move, and when it does move or it goes lower, it's like it's like someone's chose to unlike.
So come on, guys, give Keith a break. Come on,
please.
Peace out.
Thanks very much. Bye bye.